rains, it pours. We have no chance once he gets hurt. Played pretty good first half, and then we went, feel bad. I think emotionally it was hard on us. I think all year's been emotionally hard on us.
What's his prognosis?
Doctor's looking at him again right now, so it don't look good. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily bad, but I don't think he'll play this year, just from what I saw.
You don't expect him to play the rest of the year?
I mean, again, I'm just prognosticating with no knowledge.
Right.
But if you walk off like that, it doesn't look like you're gonna play him. If he has any kind of damage at all, we're not gonna play him. So Jerry can play center if we have to.
More of a point guard.
I don't know about that.
That being said, I don't know, I mean, you've talked before about Monier has to step up at certain times and like you don't have any other options. Seemed like he did okay tonight in terms of acclimating. Obviously there's gonna be some young guy mistakes, but I don't know, what was your sort of?
He's the least our worries. He's, you know, we threw him into the fire. We didn't think he'd play very much. He was on a scout team at the beginning of the year. I mean, he's doing a good job. So the good thing is we're not very good now. So the good thing is he's getting experience where he can help us next year. So we're not winning nothing this year anyway, so it forces you to play him, and it's good for him, which is good for us in the long term.
Gonna need Kevin to obviously played some 5 tonight. That's a lot to ask of him too.
I mean, I feel like we're a junior high team at times. We're so damn small out there. We're small to begin with, and then when you take Road Trump Gun and now Trey out, it's a tough deal.
Yeah.
Tough sled.
You guys had 7 or 9 assists early in the first half, arguably without having really a true point guard on the court with Acup and Kelja in here. Part of it was that there was force to pass the ball. Is that, despite not having, you know, an actual real ball handler, were you okay with the ball movement early on in the game?
Yeah, we shared the ball better tonight than we had. We had 14 assists, which is a miracle for us. So that tells you that we don't care to share it most of the time. And like you say, if you can't break it down as much, you're forced to pass it. Right? A little less talent, right? Forced to pass it. It's amazing what can happen.
What has Monier, Monier, I'm sorry. What has he done in practice to deserve a start tonight? That was his first of the season, right?
It's not that so much as why not start him? So I went into the season thinking we could reboot it in 1 year and be pretty good. And then I tried to keep patching it, and at some point you realize you're not gonna be good. So you might as well take a 2-year reorganization business plan rather than 1 year. So that means he should start. And that's why we did it. Because it's clear that the 1-year reboot wasn't working. So let's get ready for the 2-year reboot.
I was listening to Huggins saying a few weeks ago, talking about how with the transfer portal, with teams who pick up a bunch of transfers that, you know, people maybe forget or whatever, don't realize that it's difficult to break old habits from these guys too, that just like they don't just plug and play like they were at the old school. Have you experienced any of that this year? And you know, in what ways has that kind of stood out to you?
So most of my career I've had old teams because the transfer portal we never really lost guys. So what happened to us is we lost some really good players, you know, which surprised me a little bit. You know, you look at those guys that we lost, they're all putting up pretty good numbers. Like, you know, we lost arguably one of the best point guards in this league, right? And you lose guys like Eric Williams, you lose guys like Marcus Weathers, Tavian Dunn-Martin, and you lose them all at once. Lamar Norman, guys that you invest a lot of time in, you pay the price. And so, again, it's my job to retain them. So I'm not passing the buck, but it's hard to win when you lose quality players like that. And so if you look at where we were 5th and capable of being better than that, you know, 11-7 in this league. Like, we were as good as most of the teams in this league. On any given night, we beat any of them. And now our talent level is, you know, it's not good, right? I mean, it's not where, especially with the injuries. I don't know where we'd be if we didn't have the injuries. But like, the biggest concern I have is we haven't handled the adversity very well, me included. Right, we lost those games early, close, and then I'd say after the St. Joe game, we went kerplunk. And so, with that, you have to reevaluate, because it's gonna be continual adversity in this business, right? If you don't handle adversity well, you're never gonna win. So our talent level has to improve, and by that I mean toughness, skill level, size, passing ability. Like, we gotta get better in all those areas. Like, we have to continue to reorganize.
What's the biggest positive that kind of stood out to you in the first half there tonight? You held with them really, really well. Fell down a little bit towards the end, but came back, only had, 3-point deficit at halftime. What's the biggest positive you can take away from that half?
Well, I thought
That
we
attributes to why
had 10 assists. That's the first thing, which is usually more than we have in a whole game. We had 10 assists at halftime. I thought we tried hard defensively. We made mistakes, but we tried hard. So that was positive. And I think that kept us in the game. But then we have issues just sustaining just even our physical activity level and our mental toughness. It's hard for us to sustain, and then when you take Trey out, like, that's tough. Like I said, we're so small.
Keith, I understand that you had your coach on the road recruiting tonight rather than at the game. That's the first time you've done that in your career?
When I was at Eastern Michigan, my first year at Eastern Michigan, I was the assistant coach. I missed 14 games.
Okay.
I used to fly once a week from Detroit to Evansville, Indiana, watch 3 junior college games and come back at the beginning of the week, and then I'd be gone again. So at that time, Coach Braun was the head coach, and Gene Smith, who's now the AD at Ohio State, was the AD, and he told me, go get us some players.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a very tricky business. The guys with the best players win.
That was thinking that tonight, to send one of your guys out on the road rather than be at the game?
I mean, it's just prudent business. I mean, I can coach them by myself. I've done it before when I was at Tiffin. I was the NAIA coach. I drove the van to the game, taped the ankles, coached the game, drove the van back, did the wash, woke up the next day and taught business classes and went to practice. So what's the sense of having 5 guys there when you're not very good? Right? Like, it's a talent business, and it's clear that when you lose 12 games in a row in the league, that your talent level is not where it needs to be in order to be good, so you better do something to fix it. And we all know how the transfer portal works. You know, some guys aren't going to stay.
Are you interested in sorting that out for yourself? Which guys you'd like to stay, or is that just I am acknowledging that some guys may not want to, and so.
Every decision that people make has consequences. So, guys make decisions to stay or don't stay, and they have consequences behind them. Guys make decisions to be good teammates or bad teammates, and there's consequences behind them. So the way it looks to me, the way the new basketball is, right? There's gonna be 3 or 4 guys that aren't gonna be back, right? That was the average last year, right? 4.5, whatever. Tristan, I mean, so I'm a business statistician type guy. Like, there'll probably be 4 guys that, especially when you're not playing very well, your record's no good, there's more tendency for guys to leave. Right? So, because it certainly isn't their fault, it's my fault.
Coach, you talked before about being willing to do the rebuilding process from previous teams because you wasn't, fully happy with the locker room overall culture. the previous guys. This year you have guys with the highest team GPA in school history, and for you, a lot of guys who, pretty nice people overall, but obviously the results haven't been all the way there, and you could argue, just from an observation, that there hasn't been a ton of
Being
fight.
nice.
There hasn't been a lot of fight, and as you say, heart, especially when things get rough. Is it a possibility that you sort of overcorrected an issue before, where you have, guys, not saying they're not bad people, but just not good locker room guys this year, nice guys overall, but just aren't getting the results you want? Is that potentially an issue from your strategy in the offseason?
So one thing about me, I'm always gonna tell you the truth. There's no question I overcorrected. I still think I did the right thing by morals and ethics standards, but I hurt myself, and I hurt our school, and I hurt our team. So I overcorrected. We had too much bullshit that went on, and I had enough. And so we got a bunch of good guys, for the most part, and we're not very good. So maybe there's a little inverse relationship between that grade point average and your win-loss record. Like, I've noticed that in the past. Like, a lot of coaches will sit up here and BS you now. Not every team is like that, but I think I overcorrected. Probably overreacted. Because, a lot of times it's one or two guys, and then the guys that are kind of in the middle, if you have enough good guys, they turn out to be pretty good. But again, it's the truth. Like, when you're losing like we are, then we went from having pretty good talent to not very good. Now, we've had some circumstances which have affected us, so I don't want to really say that we don't have good talent. I think because of what happened to us, it really hurt us. But it doesn't matter. Nobody gives a damn. At the end of the year, it's your record, wins and losses, and no one else cares. And neither do I, to be honest with you. Like, at the end of the day, our record means that I haven't done a very good job. Now, for most of my career, I've done a pretty good job. But our record right now means I didn't do a very good job. And I'm lucky because I work for good people. I work for people that understand what I tried to do, and they've been good with me. But most guys don't get that opportunity. Now, I think I deserve it. Don't get me wrong. I think I've done a good job here up until this year. I think overall I've done a good job up until this year. But I'm paying the price this year. And like, I don't blame the Duquesne fans for being upset about it. Like, I get it. Like, it's hard for me to watch too sometimes.
Do you have any relationship with the guys who left at all?
Oh yeah. You didn't see did you follow Instagram?
Not all.
So tell me this isn't like a new, kids aren't different now. So Sincere leaves, and then he goes into Akron's gym, and my banner's there because I have the most wins in the school history. And he Instagrams my man. And I like Sim, but damn, like, you don't think having him would have helped us? He's a pretty good player, and we still have his brother. So I don't know, maybe I'm wacky.
Do you think it's possible when it comes to, Carey as well as Dunmartin with their production of their current teams, was it possible that they were potentially held back here at Duquesne that wasn't able to showcase all their offense, or is it just new systems and playing with different players that maybe showed that? Was it ever possible that they could have done what they're doing there at Duquesne, or?
Well, I think Sin did. I mean, Sin, you look at his freshman year, his numbers are, he probably doesn't shoot it quite as much, but this league's a little better than that league. I was in that league.
Right.
So, like, in this league, they're not letting Sin get 42. They're not letting, now maybe on a given night, but he didn't consistently get 42 in this league. And Tavian's not consistently getting, Now, he had a night or two where he got 30 here, but he's not getting that consistently in this league. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yes.
it's bigger, stronger. No disrespect to the MAC, there's some really good teams in the MAC. I'm from the MAC, I played in the MAC, you know, so did I hold them back? We're a little more inside oriented than their teams are right now. And, you know, they're old too, like shit. They had a good college coach for a couple of years. Like they're older guys. They've played a lot of games. Like you figure Tavian's a 6-year guy. He was a good player before. And Sin's old and strong and smart. Like Lamar is able to do a lot at Western because they're not good. And he's had a good year, but he's a good athlete and he did a good job here developing as a good player. I mean, they played a lot of games. They won 11 games in this league. So they should be doing well now. They're doing real well, which is a tribute to, and Marcus is another one. Marcus was second team all league. Like, they're good players. So did I hold them back? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, all I do is make them guard, and then they have green lights on offense, as long as they're not pigs. So I don't think that's holding anybody back.
So you did all those schools a favor, like developing Sincere and Davian.
I don't know if I developed them. Like I don't think I hurt them. You know, I taught them some things, but I think they're older and they played a lot of games. So natural development, right? You play in this league for 3 years, which they basically did, or right 2.5, 3 years. You play against the Loftons of the world, the Jacob Gilliards, Yuri Collins, Javon Bess, Goodwin. Like you're playing against some high-level guys. They're not playing against those guys every night right now. Now they're still good now. Like if Sin was here, he put up good numbers. Tavian too. They're more experienced than what we're playing with. And you know, we had those big kids too when we had them. You know, we were pretty big and strong. Nothing, Zach?